Oh no.
Greg?
I thought this was a duet. Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds. Can you hear me? Bonk.
Welcome to Miss Thing. I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim. And this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the Miss Things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Thing storied career and do what you and I are most skilled at, which is make it all about us.
And today...
Yeah, this is a huge day here on the pod.
This is Miss Thing herstory. It is our very first guest, and we're so honored that they are taking our guest virginity.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is like the three-way of my dreams for our very first guest. Host of That's a Gay Ass podcast, incredible comedian.
He is truly the funniest. He has been in Netflix as a Joke Festival. He has sold out in different events in New York and Los Angeles. He has been written up in Variety.
I mean, a real Hollywood girly here.
We are honored to have him, and let's bring him in because we're super excited.
Yeah, let's get to it. Eric Williams.
Bonk, bitch. What a fucking honor to be on this Miss Thing podcast. I cannot be more obsessed with the intro and more obsessed with you and this pod. Thank you for having me, girlies.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
It's been months in the making where we keeping like our first guest, no matter what, is going to be Eric.
You guys have been edging me for Miss Thing.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. We do every time we see you. We're like, yeah, we're going to have you on soon. We just need to figure out the logistics.
I love a long game. I truly do. And this episode, the fact that I get to talk with you two about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm seated, bitch. I'm seated.
Yeah, big. Well, we're big Broadway fans here on the pod. Well, you and I are. He's sort of.
I'll sort of be like seeing my way out at certain points. I get upset when people say that I'm not a Broadway gay or theater gay, because I'm like, I'm not a theater gay, but I know I can't keep up with like a true theater gay in the sense of like, I've seen like 10 plus like Broadway shows in New York and then like 40 more throughout LA. So I'm like, I see stuff.
Okay, prove it. What's the Broadway show that you saw that you loved?
Well, I mean, I did see the original cast of Hamilton, so that's like that's a mic drop.
God.
But my favorite actually is our number one fan, Cynthia. I saw The Color Purple when she was in it, and that was my like
a religious.
Did you see it?
I did.
That
with
her
Cynthia.
standing up, it was And The Humans, I love The Humans. I've seen
The Humans. He's seen them. He's seen some shows.
All of The Humans.
So when people say that I'm not, I'm like, yes, I don't know Sondheim, nor do I care about Sondheim. I'm sorry.
Well, now you're going too far. I think we need to switch topics from you wishing Sondheim could die again. How dare you?
And you did see Broadway in Chicago. Who'd you see in Wicked?
Anna Gasteyer. Which she did play it, right? Like I was saying this when I was
yes,
like,
she did.
Okay.
That was like the famous thing that Anna Gasteyer
was in. Did you see
was
recently at a Wicked event where Cynthia Erivo stood with past Elphabas?
Yes.
And then Ariana stood with past Glindas?
Why wasn't Idina there?
Wait, I didn't see that.
It was very recent. I don't know why Adina wasn't there, but I do know that Anna Gasteyer was also not there because she's currently on Broadway in Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh my God. And that's
which is coming to
here.
Los Angeles,
with Sutton Foster, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
which...
See, I know things. Sorry, I'm being very defensive.
Well, no, it's okay, because I'm going to give you your next gauntlet.
Okay.
Sutton Foster, why was she in headlines recently for Broadway Goss?
Wait, I do know this because she's supposedly having an affair with someone.
Not an affair. I think she's with Hugh Jackman.
Might have started as one, but we're not gonna dot our I's or cross our T's on that.
Really? Sutton's a homewrecker. I never would have expected that.
No, Hugh's divorced. Oh, wait, she's married?
Oh, was she married?
Is she married?
They are currently filing.
Wow.
By the way, love her.
Oh my God.
And support whatever she is going through. But the fact that she's also now rumored to be with Hugh Jackman, I think is such a gag. I mean, aren't we as gay girls going a little BONK?
Yeah. In the era of us just learning about Shawn Mendes, it's kind of like, Hugh, take a note. Just, just do the word salad, whatever phrase you want to come out.
Mostly shocked that his next step after his wife is Sutton Foster. That wasn't sort of where I'd go next. I do adore Sutton, and maybe he has a talent crush. When we were in shows when we were younger, we loved the girls with the good voices.
Oh
and
my
who
God.
Could do
and talk about a pingy belt.
Should we get into Dad Mom Sauce?
Dad Mom Sauce. AKA Doll of the Day, Mother of the Moment, Sister of the Second, which is the person, place, or thing right now that we are most obsessed with.
Yes.
Tim, would you like to go first?
Okay, yeah. So my Dad Mom Sauce, this past weekend, I went to a Halloween party with Anthony, and I was like...
Yeah, he's been saving it till now to tell me about it. I was like, what have you done this weekend?
It's actually,
crickets.
No, the thing is, like, I could have told you, because it's not even that.
No, you totally could have told me.
Told
You've left me in the dark. I'm so mad at you. We're sort of, we're working this out on the remix.
Yeah, let's actually pause. No, so it was a costume party, and Anthony the whole time is like, it's kind of a costume party. Like, we can wear a costume. We don't have to wear a costume. And I was like, are you sure? And then I text one of his friends, like, at 8:30 Saturday night. The party is starting in 30 minutes. And the theme is character, actor, and actresses. And it's all gay men. And so then I was literally like, Anthony, this is going to be the most costumed party of all time. What are you thinking? So then at the very last second, we're like scrounging together an outfit. We actually do well, but I think you actually dressed as this. This was like, have you been Drew Barrymore in Scream?
No, I've actually surprisingly never done that.
Okay.
Although I have thought about it at last minute. Yeah, but I've never gotten the wig sort of to prevent me from doing that.
I was Uma Thurman last year in Red, White, and Royal Blue. And so I cut that wig and then just made it Casey Becker. And then I was going there, I was telling Anthony, I was like, I just know that there's going to be multiple Casey Beckers at this party. We walk in immediately. The very first thing that people tell me is like, have you seen the other Drew Barrymore in Scream? And I was like, no. And then every single person's like, have you seen him? And then like, there's this tension building throughout the party of like me seeing my doppelganger. And then sure enough, she walks in and she is my Dad Mom Sauce this week because he comes over to me and everyone was, and then he was like, everyone has been telling me we need to talk. Comes up to me and literally is like, we're twins. Like, let's take a picture. We take a picture. And then everyone's kind of like, it's like weird. It felt like a celebrity where it's like everyone was just watching us interact. And I was like, guys, it's not like rare that two people have the same costume, I feel like, at a party. So she whispers in my ear and she goes, everyone's kind of like obsessed that we're in the same costume. She's like, should we cause a little drama? And so I was like, sure. And so then she's like, okay, watch this. And so then she just like leans out and she goes, bitch, you stay in this room. I'm taking the outside. And then like storms off. And then for the rest of the night, it was even organic. Like we just kept, like I would get hot and like I'm gonna go outside. And as I was going outside, she just would organically be going inside. And people were just like watching us do this. And she would wink at me as we were going back and forth. And so I was literally like, girl, you are my queen.
Every party needs a little bit of tension and a narrative arc, and she supplied both. Yeah. Can you please clarify for me and the listeners, pronoun-wise, are you saying she in costume and it's a gay man?
Yes, it's a gay man. Thank you. I was actually, as I was saying this, I was being unclear. It is a gay man who I'm referring to as she.
Yes, she did. Yes. Okay, I'm just making sure that my gut was correct.
Yeah.
You know, we had a Drew Barrymore from Scream at the party I went to, and I have to say it's one of those drag costumes that you can still maintain like a masculine fuckery, like a fuckability, while still doing drag.
Totally. You can still maybe go home with that Casey Becker at the end of the night. There is something so sexy about Drew in that, about a man in that costume.
Yes. Did I want to fuck the Casey Becker at my party? Hard yes.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Oh, good.
And for me, the best is like, it's such an easy costume. It's just jeans and a like sweater and then a wig.
And did your man dress up?
Yes. Anthony was Sue from The Substance.
Beautiful.
The most masculine suit too, because it was just like a barely there wig and then just like the biggest beard.
What did he wear? Did he wear the onesie?
He wore like a neon pink kind of like push-up bra and then like booty shorts and then like a wig. And then my favorite thing, which is we then made the poster of like, it says like new show coming soon, and then he posed seductively in the background, and so it was a poster behind.
What were you this Halloween?
I was a very lazy, slutty gay man, which is sort of an okay place to lean in. I hate dressing up for Halloween, so I was
Same.
slutty gay Jew Waldo.
Oh.
Whereas
Okay.
Waldo, check sniffies.
Oh, I love that.
Oh
So
my
I-
god, I saw Matt's costume, and Matt's costume was killer.
Oh my God.
Matt's costume. Are you talking about this? Because
The one as Nicole.
As
Scherzinger.
Nicole.
Yeah.
And,
he
and
was
Sunset.
Nicole. I was talking about Broadway girlies.
Yes.
Yes.
Nicole Scherzinger as.
Matt is his husband for the listeners.
Oh, thank you. My
Yes.
husband's name is
Yeah.
Matt. He is great with a costume for Halloween. He's also a Broadway girly, and we're seeing Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard in January. And so he's sort of like counting down the days by dressing up as her in curtain call, covered in blood.
Yeah.
Oh
Well, that's
my
going to come
God.
back later. So
Yeah.
that we're happy that you kind of preface.
Sure.
You're giving a little tease for later in the episode.
Oh yeah, we've got Broadway coming down the pike. Do I have a dog
Do
mom
you
sauce?
have a
I
dog
can
mom sauce?
tell that you're gonna
That's-
ask.
yeah.
I do. Have either of you guys seen the movie Trap?
No.
Never even heard of it.
Never heard of it. It's
No.
an M. Night Shyamalan joint. It's the new
Scary.
Josh Hartnett one.
Oh, yes.
That takes place at a concert.
Like a Taylor Swift concert, right?
Well, it's like it's kind of attempting to be like Taylor Swift meets like K-pop, but not. So this movie is unbelievable. It's completely it like defies description. So my first big question is that why is this concert apparently in the morning? It takes place entirely during the day. But the central conceit is that Josh Hartnett is like a serial killer.
Yeah.
And they are trapping him in. So they're like going through the men essentially one by one at this concert, like trying to catch them. It's definitely not the worst M. Night Shyamalan movie by any stretch of the
Yeah.
imagination, but it does feel the most AI out of all of them.
AI written or created?
Both. Yeah, all of the above. But the most bizarre thing I think is that 50% of it is full concert. Like it's like full 5
Why
minutes.
don't you do that, do that, do
Who's
that, do
the-
that, do
who's the
that to
singer?
me?
Very much like that.
yeah.
So I'm sitting there thinking, who is this diva? Because ultimately then she plays like kind of a significant part in the film, like
spoiler
after the concert, spoiler alert. This
Okay.
movie is, by the way, a cool hour 40. It feels like it's 7 hours long and you are fully trapped in it. It's so bizarre. I couldn't recommend it more. But I'm looking up who the girl is, who the singer is. M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
You're joking.
No.
She wrote, composed, and produced 14 original songs for this movie.
Wait, but she also
Trap.
just directed a new. Is that? It's not this though.
Okay, and that's his
Other
other daughter.
daughter.
That's M. Night Shyamalan's other daughter. Because at one point in this movie as well, like they're driving, there's like police cars or whatever, and in the background is a billboard for the movie The Watchers, which is the other daughter's movie. Like to be
I wanna
one
be-
of the
yeah.
sisters Shyamalan.
It's a Shyamalanomenon.
Our girl group, the Sister
Yeah.
Shyamalan. Shyamalan
Yeah.
is the first
Can you?
single.
I mean, like, I kind of don't give any judgment to those daughters, the daughters, because like, if your dad is M. Night Shyamalan, I'm constantly pitching my dad.
Oh, 100%.
Dad, I wrote 14 pop songs. Let's make a movie. And he's like, okay.
I mean, that's the thing with Nepo Babies. It's like, if you're going to work hard, though, like, cool. Like, if you're going to actually
Jack
make 14
Quaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Dakota
Nepo
Johnson.
baby,
Yeah.
good actor, works hard, good guy, fucking killing it. Elizabeth Olsen, Nepo
Yeah.
sister,
Oh, yes.
very talented. It's like
Yeah.
that, no, we can't give any sass to those people. But God, what a gorgeous entrapment.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was the most, like, I was like, go girl. Like, that ended up making me love the movie so much more. Her performance is, you need to see it to believe it.
I mean, I've been waiting for where has Josh Hartnett been? He's
Oh.
so hot.
Okay, I'm
Oh
glad
my
you
God.
said that. Don't you feel like we're in an era right now where the Josh Hartnetts are starting to return?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Adam Brody. To
Is
me,
this your dog mom sauce?
No, but he should
Oh,
be.
but no, okay. But
Okay,
talk about
yeah,
Adam
talk
Brody,
about it.
please.
Well, Adam Brody is Dog Mon Sauce Part 1
Okay.
because nobody wants this. I'm a huge, we'll talk about it to anybody who will listen.
Yeah.
Especially as like a Jewess who just loves to see, a interfaith relationship in the media as being in one myself. But Josh Hartnett, Adam Brody, like I just feel like those heartthrobs from our herstory are now getting their renaissance, and it's very interesting to see them as like Joshua Jackson, is that his name?
Oh yeah,
have you
he's
seen
in like
that
every
slow-mo?
show on Peacock, like, literally.
Have you seen that slow-mo? It's like the glam bot, the e-glam bot, where they all do the slow. There's one of him doing it or whatever. It's so hot.
Joshua Jackson, who are Joshua Jackson doing it?
Yeah,
I mean, talk about
Pacey.
my daddy type. Like he's
That's
looking so good. So my dog mom sauce.
Yes.
Take two. My dog. Fuck me. My dog mom sauce is Shawn Mendes coming out as he's figuring it out.
Okay.
Thank you
Speak
so
on it.
much.
I'm speaking on this.
Okay.
What I would like to say is that he's doing something quite beautiful, which is somewhat calling out the people who have been nasty and gross about his sexuality his whole life, and also giving room for himself to be gay in a way that is honoring his journey. I feel like when there's people in this level of fame like his who are a little fey or just like to suck dick, they're so...
I didn't say... No, sorry.
It's just they're like so... People are so awful to them.
Yeah.
And I think for him to be like, I'm figuring it out, even if he has figured it out, I think it's a great way to clap back and also leave room for homosexuality. And so I give him...
So many claps.
Yeah,
many claps.
so many
Also,
claps.
like, I do think that the narrative is that he's been keeping this or hiding it, when it's like, I don't think he was aware until recently. Like, I don't think years ago when it was like, when he was his first album, like, I don't know, closeted and wasn't aware of it. Like, it does feel like it's, I don't know, the way I'm perceiving it is it's been a slow thing where he's like, oh wait, maybe I also like guys.
That's a great point. Like, I genuinely think that, you know how there are some guys that are like, I come out at like 25.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't know.
100%.
I really think that, like, if that's the case, if he's gay, if he's not just sort of like walking us down a road that like he might be or he might not be, if he's actually gay or bi or whatever, I genuinely think he might be figuring that out for the first time.
There are plenty of people. I mean, as someone who literally has a gay podcast asking about when you like realized you were gay, there are so many people who start to edge out of the closet. Speaking of edging, like they just figure out
Go
that.
into more detail, please.
Speaking of edging Shawn Mendes, but it's just like, you know, our default that we were told as kids is you are straight because you're supposed to be. So like, okay, I guess I'm fucking straight, and then. A lot of those people, like I'm so aggressively gay. I tried to have the girlfriend. I tried to jerk off to Samantha Jones in the shower. I tried to do the thing, the straight thing, but it was so no bueno for me. Whereas some people, like maybe Shawn Mendes, are able to have sex with women, date women, and then also potentially have their prostate massaged by a man or otherwise.
Totally. He's an artist. He's creative. He can use his imagination and like convince himself that maybe he is into Camila Cabello, who I also am into suddenly.
Oh, you were so into her recently.
Oh my God, yeah. We on the pod
Artistically or
Sexually.
Sexually. No, of course. Suddenly I'm artistically very into Camila Cabello.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning in my mid-30s.
That's your coming out journey.
That is so my
We all
coming out
have our
journey.
own different growth moments, and you're learning about Camila Cabello. That's actually a great question, is like, what is your pop culture, like, new growing moment in your 30s? I mean, I don't know. That's a great...
That's actually... What would be something that I'm like... Well, I mean...
That you're unexpectedly into.
I mean, mine is... Although now no one thinks it's because it's so my personality, but like not until I was 30 did I... I never watched Drag Race. I didn't know anything about Drag Race.
That's a good one. Well, the fact that we have like dressing room moments where they get to have their trauma moments too, in addition to the artistry, baby, sign me up. Any self-help moment, any like vulnerable therapy moment, I'm here for. And I can't think of a pop culture exactly, but I think like I'm very much in a season of self-help books right now, which is my sort of in my 30s.
Wait, that's me all the time. What is your
what's your
book?
main?
The Universe Has Your Back is my current obsession.
Okay.
Her name, I believe it's Gabrielle Bernstein. She's Bernstein. She's a Berenstain Bear, and her first name is like Danielle, Gabrielle, something like that. And it's basically just like, how can we lean into positivity and love versus out of fear as a neurotic Jew who is very anxious all the time, to be able to like make conscientious decisions to not come from a place of fear and stress has been like monumental.
That is so
That's
stressful.
everything.
Like, that's so shocking to me because you, to me, give off like effortlessly like
confidence
chill
vibes
and cash.
I love that.
Very
I
good
love
with
that I
the
come
flow.
off that way. I think the only reason I come off that way right now is because of the like truly over a decade of like very regular therapy.
Yeah.
But without that, I'm so not chill. I mean, I'm constantly talking myself off of a ledge for sure. But this book is like kind of it's pushing me further than therapy has.
Have you read Attached?
No.
That's been it's like your attachment
I can
style.
picture the cover though. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it though.
That is mine, where it's just like it's your romantic attachment style, and then there's like
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so there's different ones, and then like your partner, you can take like a test, and then like the biggest work is not then diagnosing your friends.
Of course.
You're
Anxious attached.
Yeah. Oh, you already know. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've done a little
You
bit
think
of
you're anxious? Wow. Okay.
That doesn't show up like it doesn't show up in the way I think you think it does.
It's like so the two main are anxious. It's also like low key. It's like secure. So it's like either you're healthy,
You're good or you're bad.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
It's like you're secure or you're anxious attached or avoidant, and then there's a very rare anxious avoidant.
Huh.
Yeah, which is like 10% of the population.
I'll read and we'll get back to you when I come back on the pod.
Have you ever done Marianne Williamson? She's my big one.
No, but this book just referenced her, and I was like, twist.
I think she's the big one. Return to Love is like, that's like
And we're talking about Marianne
text.
Williamson,
the presidential candidate.
Yeah,
Presidential candidate,
yeah,
okay.
who I wrote in.
Yeah.
If you revealed on this recording.
That's exactly, and that's what we're here to tell you is if you haven't voted yet, we would like you to vote for Marianne Williamson. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is all grassroots campaign.
All right, should we take
Well,
a break?
on that note, I
Yeah.
think, it's time for a break.
Welcome
We're back.
back.
Oh, it's this little thing we do
Yeah.
where we sort of...
It's not a thing that we do. I think you purposely try to do the.
I
wrong
purposely
one.
say the same thing every week, and
Well, I
you
say
purposely,
but
I
then
think say the same thing.
Sometimes it's like I bend to you. You know what I mean? And so
That's
it
the
feels-
first time I'm experiencing that.
So it
I feel
feels
like I'm watching my parents fight right now.
Yeah, so then it feels like sometimes. Doesn't you think welcome just sounds so much like fun, more fun?
I think you're
free?
certainly trying to force it down my
Okay,
throat.
all right. Anyways, let's get into the big moment of the week, which is our Miss thing. Okay, so this queen.
This is an icon of stage and screen. I mean, a true legend. And we wanted to talk about her now in the month of Wicked,
Yeah.
which she was the original Glinda in. We are talking about, of course,
KRISTIN
Chenoweth.
Okay, and this is something where I'm like, she has a voice of an angel.
Oh,
She
God.
pushing Daisies also Emmy nominated, Emmy winner.
She had her own sitcom in the
KRISTIN.
early 2000s. KRISTIN, girls,
Tony
we were born
winner
at the wrong
for
time.
what did she win the Tony for again?
You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. She's been in Promises with Sean Hayes. She's soon to be in The Queen of Versailles, which I believe is transferring to Broadway.
It is.
And of course, she was the original Glinda in Wicked on stage, which I have to say it here on the pod. I saw her in. I saw OBC.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I got chills. I need you to know that those are real chills. Can you tell me how old you were? What did it feel like? Was Adina into this?
I was in high school. The only reason I knew about it, it was a month after it opened. We got discount tickets. The reason I knew about it is because I had done a production of Children of Eden in high school, which is written by Stephen Schwartz, who did the music, and we loved the music. So I was like, Mom, can we get tickets to this show? Yeah, and we went in, we saw KRISTIN, Adina, Norbert had been out for a week, and he was back when we saw it.
Who's Norbert?
Norbert,
Butts, who
Leo
played,
Butts, Fierro.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, they both were, it was like, to describe the experience, it's like I've never seen it again because it is so singular. Like when Adina was singing Defying Gravity and rising up, like you felt like you could climb up the wall.
Yeah.
Was her voice was it the early run of her voice?
KRISTIN was pitch perfect, let's say.
Okay.
Adina was a force of nature. She was more, she was forcing. Emphasis
on force.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's history. I think I saw the show when I was it was on tour. It was the first tour.
Yes.
And I was at an age where I'd been obsessed with it, listened to every single song.
Did you grow up in New York? Or is this
No, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay,
it toured to the Fox Theater in St. Louis. It was the first tour. It was Stephanie J. Block, who
the original.
Yeah, who played it before Adina did it on Broadway. But like really? Adina's obviously the OG. But Stephanie did like the workshop or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Kendra Kassebaum was the Glinda, who was actually from St. Louis, and she was so funny and so great. Anywho, I did not know what was going on in the show because I was like mouthing every word, didn't know the plot. Saw Wicked again in New York like a few years ago, and I was like, this show is actually really good. It has legs because I actually could understand the plot of it. I was like, oh, it's a little more clever than I realized, and like it's such a machine. But for you to see it that early is really historic.
No, it's truly the cast album had not come out yet.
This is
Trailblazer.
This is truly like one of my big.
If you get like 10 minutes alone with Greg, this story will come up. Even pre-pod, we were talking. I think maybe I can't remember if we were talking about this early pod or pre-pod. We were talking about Hamilton and how I saw it, and Greg was like, "Well, did you see it at the public?" And I was like, "I didn't see it at the public." And then quickly was like, "Well,
I unfortunately saw it at the public as well. I'm so sorry."
You saw it at the public. Okay, well, that's her story.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that counts.
Story.
Mine doesn't. Even though I saw the original cast, it doesn't count. He's
no,
like,
it does. Count.
Thank you.
Also,
when
not to like shade, but when Lin-Manuel Miranda is involved, like no one's gonna be that precious about where you fucking saw it. It's like he saw him do it on Broadway. We saw it at the public because husband Matt referred earlier, he did the lottery, no joke, 12, 13 times while I was out of town doing a show. I get back in town, and the time he wins it, I just got back in town and I saw it with him. But can we just for a second, the KRISTIN Chenoweth of it all, when you think about these performers like KRISTIN, who did a Broadway show that was kind of like a pop culture defining show.
Yes.
And then their career explodes from there. Do we remember what had she done before Wicked? That's
good.
So
was that Pushing Daisies?
Well,
no, that was directly, not directly, but that was like 2007.
I think 6. Pushing Daisies was like a result of Wicked. I think basically everything like we know her from now is a result of Wicked.
Right.
But I think she won a Tony for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
That's right.
You know what is such a deep cut, but I loved her in is Good Christian Bitches.
I'm so glad you brought that up. One of my favorite when I found out we were doing KRISTIN Chenoweth for this, one of my first thoughts of KRISTIN Chenoweth was Good Christian Bitches. And one of my favorite tweets I remember from the year of our Lord, like 2009, was Marla Mendel tweeted. I remember like screenshotting it or like it never left me. Marla Mendel tweeted, because Good Christian Bitches went by GCB.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, of course, GCB, which obviously stands for Go Kill Borself. And it was one of the dumbest and yet funniest tweets I had ever seen. And every time I think about Good Christian Bitches, I think Go Kill Borself. And
oh my God.
You know what? Some people said that for the Wicked movie, they're going to go dressed up as Avenue Q because Avenue Q lost to Wicked.
Wait, no, Avenue Q.
Wicked lost to Avenue Q at the Tonys.
Oh my God.
And so they were going to all dress up to like show their Avenue Q pride.
Holy shit. You reminding me that Avenue Q beat out Wicked. Our best musical of the Tonys.
Is Avenue Q Muppets?
Yeah.
Okay. Dirty
See,
Muppets.
he knows theater.
Thank you.
So Avenue Q, what I had, a teacher had told me right after this had happened that basically Avenue Q was campaigning to win that Tony because they thought that if they won the Tony, it would do better touring around the touring theaters of the country. And so I'm not fully telling the story correctly, but basically they were promising the like producers around the country that if they won, X, Y, and Z would happen, and like Wicked didn't need to win, something like that. Someone's gonna fact check me, but there was like a full campaign for Avenue Q to win, and it convinced the Tony voters to vote for them, and they did.
Wow,
that is so you and I coded in the sense of like you're supposed to win, but I campaign Melissa Leo style. Like
there you go.
You were so consider.
Yeah, consider.
Yeah,
and then I win, and then I also I go out on tour.
It's just like
I never
it's just like
forgive
when
you.
I was like 11 years old. I have 3 straight brothers who all play hockey. I was like doing figure skates because I have really narrow feet, and they all entered a competition to ice skate with NHL players, and I did not want to be left out.
Yeah.
So I, of course, entered the contest
And won.
I won. They all lost. I got a free stick. I got free pads. I got to skate with the NHL players, and I was like,
That's
I just wanted to like,
Yeah.
no, I just like, I was fully did not
Yeah.
care about being there, but I won. And my straight play
yeah.
That
brothers
is
did not.
actually like the hottest story I've ever heard. I'm so proud
Yeah, I
of
was
you.
like fucking 11 years old.
Yeah.
That would be like, if I were you, that would be my wicked story, like that I would tell in the first 10 minutes of meeting people. Eric, are you
And
doing
that's
the
actually
math? Can you do the math in your head?
Every time I'm at a party with Eric, he like somehow whips out this NHS story. He can't stop
No. You know
talking
what I
about it.
actually whip out?
What?
My bar
Your
mitzvah
dick.
theme. My dick. You know what I actually whip out? I actually whip out the story of my twin brother and I. Our bar mitzvah theme was Austin Powers because we couldn't agree on one.
Oh my gosh.
I
But
whipped
what
that
an
one out.
incredible
Yeah.
timeless theme.
Well, because I wanted Broadway and he wanted sports, so of
That's
course we compromised.
perfect.
That is great.
Was it was it a specific movie that had just come out, like the first
Good
one?
question. I do think that Mini Me had just the one with Mini Me had just
Okay.
come out. Is that the first
That's
one?
the second one.
That's the second one. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Dramaturge. It was.
I remember nothing else except for anything else in Powers related.
Which one? Which movies Vern Troyer is in? That's like your. That's your.
Vern has my career.
Yeah. And that's actually that when we close out Miss Thing, which will be never on our deathbed, the last one will be Vern Troyer. Our biggest one. Should we I think it's been time. We've been talking far too I mean, we honestly already are doing the name of the game, which is just making it about ourselves. But
Of course.
Let's go into, do you want to go into how you make KRISTIN Chenoweth
KRISTIN, all
yourself?
about me. Well, I'm happy to. Yeah, KRISTIN. So KRISTIN first showed up on the scene for me when she won her Tony for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. So there was a local community theater production that I auditioned for because they decided they weren't going to actually do it with adults. They were going to do it with kids. And
How old are you?
I think I was in like 7th grade.
Okay.
Love.
And I ended up getting the role of Charlie Brown, the titular character, the tits
The
and
good
ass.
man himself.
Yeah, the good man. Yeah. So I got the role, and I had a very beautiful sort of like girl's voice, let's say, at that point. My voice stubbornly just would not change.
You're giving full soprano.
Yeah, I was giving full
Are
soprano.
you supposed
singing.
to be soprano, not soprano?
I was no, well. The parts like the part was in my voice, but like it's usually sung an octave down. So I'm singing full soprano, like little boy, like which I probably think that they thought was cute at the time. The only problem is, 2 weeks before the show was supposed to go up, my voice changed. It started to drop. So I was doing half 8VA, half up the octave, half the songs down the octave, and then the baseball game. Are you familiar with the show?
Very.
The baseball
Me
game,
too.
I was switching, so we had to redo all of the arrangements for my voice. So ultimately, they hired the wrong child actor.
That makes me sad for you're already a gay kid in
Aged out.
7th grade.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, there was a girl in that show. I love that they did it like with kids to preserve like the innocence. And there was a girl in that show that was 1 calendar year older than me. And her main story, her wicked story, first 10 minutes of meeting, is that she got fingered in a parking lot of a church. I was so when you order a child actor on Temu. Yeah, enough about me. How do you make KRISTIN Chenoweth queen, soprano KRISTIN Chenoweth, all about
Okay,
you.
well, when I think of KRISTIN, I think of her insane voice, obviously.
Yeah.
And when I was in my mid-20s, I worked at a Green Brooms Music Academy as the front desk receptionist.
I remember this era.
Honestly, I loved that job. And one of my duties was like when they were hiring like the new vocal teachers or whatever musical instrument they were teaching, they needed like a test subject. So they would like, if I wasn't at the desk, I would have to like do a test lesson where then the owner would watch them teach me. And literally like, honestly, one of the reasons why they hired me was in my interview, they were like, are you a good singer? And I was like, no, I'm terrible. And they're like, that's perfect. We want someone so bad so we can, that when we're hiring someone, we can see if they can like make you better.
Oh, I like, he's not going to rise up the ranks here. They're like, perfect.
You're so hard to teach.
Really? Which was, the other thing was like how excited she was when I said how bad. I was like, okay, like calm down. And then I go, so I'm doing the lessons. One time this older man comes in and the owner is like, okay, at 12 o'clock, we're going to have this lesson and see if he will get hired for the school. I go in, he tells me to, I don't know, do like fa la la la. I can't remember what it was, but sing a note. As I gear up to do it, he grimaces and tells me to stop. Like I went like, oh, and he was like, please stop. And then I was like, okay. And he's like, we're going to warm up some more. So then I'm doing more warm-ups. I like start to do it again. He stops me. He then starts doing stuff with my diaphragm. I don't know. He's like, are you purposely?
For free?
Yeah. I asked the owner to leave the room. I was like, excuse me, I want some. No, but so then he's like telling me to do something, like switch it up and sing through my diaphragm. And then he's like, are you purposely not singing through your diaphragm? And I was like, no, I'm singing through my what I assume, like you're the one who should be teaching me how to do this. And then literally he looks to the owner and was like, is he purposely trying to be bad? And I was like, and her mouth dropped, and then I was like, no, like this is me trying my darndest. But then he teaches me like another thing. He just wants me to do like hit certain, like hit whatever he's doing with his voice. And then literally the next time I do it, my voice cracks. And then he goes, and then he turns and he's like, okay, well the kids will be better than this. And so then literally then I fully gasp, and so does the owner. And she's like, okay, Tim, step outside, go back to work. And then I hear her just like scream in an unprofessional way, like screaming at the guy. I go back to the desk. He storms out, and then he just looks at me and goes, thanks a lot, and then leaves. So I'm such a bad singer that my voice is also insane, like KRISTIN, in a way that like I literally could not. I'm unteachable, and also this man
How old are you in this story?
I'm 25.
Wait, this is so insane.
Yeah, you sabotaged this man's career.
Literally, and this man, by the way, is like 60.
Well, clearly, all parties involved are not well. I think we can say it makes
me being the prime one. Yeah,
you most of all. No, you're the straight man in the story. Yeah. But you know what? That to me is a greater. It points to the greater issue of like people who work in theater, music, dance training, acting school. Like there's clearly a lot of dark demons that the teachers and the practitioners are not dealing with. And if I may tell you my Make It About Me that does Yes and Yours.
No, please go.
Please.
So mine also involves a singing teacher, because my KRISTIN Chenoweth, my first entree to her was I was quite young, and she had a song that she sang called Taylor the Latte Boy.
Oh my God.
There's a boy who works at Starbucks. I mean, it's a great story song, and KRISTIN Chenoweth sang it, and my voice teacher had a bunch of students, and she had this performance where like a bunch of her like star students sang, and I was not chosen for this, but a girl sang Taylor the Latte Boy. I was obsessed. I like tried to find as many versions as I could. I found KRISTIN's. But the reason why this is going to be made about me is that this same voice teacher was someone who did teach me how to sing, but also really led with trying to place fear in her students' hearts. And so I was deeply afraid of her, deeply afraid to show my true colors, deeply afraid of messing up. I was just a lot of fear.
The whole purpose of acting training and song analysis. You have to be able to bring yourself to the song.
Well, I definitely did not. So much so that I found out years after I graduated high school and I was in college. I came out right before I went to college, and I found out that this voice teacher pulled my mother aside and told her that I was gay and that they should probably tell me.
That they should tell you?
My voice teacher was like, I'm going to tell him, or we need to figure it out. And
I'm going to tell him?
And my mom told me this story, like actually probably a little too soon after it happened.
Like
before you had come out? Before you had come
after
out?
I came out. After I came out. Because I think she was trying to be like, how crazy was that?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was apparently like my voice teacher giving my mom an intervention about her gay son. And my parents are really great and were supportive when I came out, but they did not have the tools to like deal or know or do any of that. So when I think about KRISTIN Chenoweth, Taylor the Latte Boy. I go back to like me obviously being obsessed with musical theater, obviously being gay, but being surrounded by people who did not have the tools to actually usher me in a way that was like healthy and taking care of me, much like the monsters at that job you had. I said, thanks a lot.
But that's God. Like even like mine. At least I was like old enough, and I wasn't attached.
Yeah,
to
that's
the
true.
Outcome.
I was
a child.
I mean, a teenager, but still.
Yeah, but that's still a child. You know.
Yeah.
And then for also them to take it on, like that's like the weird. As you get older, and then you realize, like you're like, oh. You just think that the adult is going to be the more mature person, and then you realize, like, oh, wait, these people know nothing.
When I was a kid, probably, like, starting to... I don't know if you did this. A lot of people, I think, go through this in adolescence where you realize your parents aren't correct about everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's sort of like a, oh, my God, their advice is not gospel. It's not... I remember feeling that. And then soon after, hearing one of my parents talk about drama they were having with their friends, and I said to my mom, I was like, wait a minute, does high school never end? And I remember her being like, no, this is it, babe. And it's
That's
like
so wise.
I just remember being like at
that age. No, it's
I'm
like
also
true.
imagining
she
your mom
literally
has
ascends.
a cigarette at that moment. Like, yeah,
it's Kristen Johnson in Sex and the City.
Yeah.
So boring.
We have a game.
Oh, right. Yes,
for you.
Yeah.
Before we play this game, who do you think KRISTIN Chenoweth is going to play in the Wicked movie? What do you think her cameo is
like
going to be?
cameo-wise?
Yeah.
Wait, do you have an answer?
No, I'm trying to think.
KRISTIN Chenoweth's cameo in the Wicked film is absolutely going to be related to Glinda, and it has to be like they're going to do a whole scene during Popular where they're going to have it really explode into like a fashion bonanza, and Kristen's going to be a cunty seamstress.
That's
my pitch.
That. A cunty seamstress.
And she winks at the camera when she gives Elphaba a pink fucking frock. That's my pitch.
That's good.
Thank you.
I don't know what I would want her to be.
There's a difference between what you want her to be and what she's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, my famous idea was that she was gonna be, before like the rest of the casting was announced, I thought she was gonna play the wizard.
I mean, camp. That would be so campy.
I think that would be iconic.
The only one I thought of is I really wanted Adina to play like the legs, and you could kind of see like at the beginning.
Turn out anywhere. You never see her face.
You never see. Well, you like kind of then it's like, oh, it doesn't really work with Cynthia, but yeah. Okay, let's do the game. Our game is called Playbill or Play with Bill. Okay. So, would you rather a front row ticket to this play or a night of play with this Bill?
Okay, I can't wait.
Okay, so our first one, Audra McDonald and Gypsy, or A Night in the Lab with Bill Nye.
No disrespect to Bill Nye, but I'm going front row Gypsy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I would think about like the knowledge he could bestow on me that night.
I think I'm good. I think I'm sort of filled to the brim.
You're learned enough, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, Patti LuPone in Evita or Bill Hader?
Why do you do this to me?
Stuff.
I have to say, you know what's really tough about this game is that you're putting me in a crossroads because I'm very horny and I love Patti LuPone. And so I'm going to...
We tailored it to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that as much as I would love to see how much Bill Hader trims down there, which hopefully is not at all, I'm going to see Patti do Evita.
Evita. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seems like a good one. All right, Nicole Scherzinger. Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard, or play with Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton.
You know I love daddies. This is for me.
Uh-huh.
I'm learning that because I can get dick sort of... I don't need to fuck celebrities, but I need to see Nicole Scherzinger belt while she's doing the splits. Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard.
Wait, she does the splits in it?
She does.
Gillian Anderson in A Streetcar Named Desire, or Bill Suche Compton from True Blood.
True Blood. Who is... Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
True Blood. There was something about the advertising of True Blood. I don't know if you remember. There was like
naked and bloody. Yeah.
I'm not a scat queen. I'm not a blood play girl, and yet that photo shoot made me think, do I want bodily fluids on my face?
Yeah.
Would you rather watch KRISTIN Chenoweth and Idina Menzel in the OBC of Wicked, or a night with Billy Bigelow from Carousel on a good night?
When he's feeling in a good, when he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I know anybody who saw Idina and Kristen in the original cast except for you. I'm choosing Idina and Kristen. Honestly, it would be hard for you to put any bill in front of me, Bigelow or otherwise, and have me choose them over OBC Wicked. Imagine the electricity in the room. I know you can. Imagine the electricity. I want that.
That was honestly, we were trying to put a really big bill there to see if you would pick. Yeah, and that's when we thought.
Yeah, Billy Bigelow.
It was a tough call. It was a tough call. You did a great job in the writer's room.
Okay, Barbara in Funny Girl, or Buffalo Bill.
Can I at least for one of these I bring one of the bills to the theater with me?
No, that's the game.
No, yeah, you get one ticket.
Yeah.
Barbara and Funny Girl. Are you joking? If I, as a Jewess, came on this podcast and chose anything other than my gorgeous Babs, I'm choosing Babs. What a beautiful game, and thank you for that work. It truly, I could tell, was a labor of love.
Let's
take a break. We're back. And it's time for Diva Down. Diva Down, of course, is our segment where we give unsolicited advice to a person, place, or thing right now who needs it the most. And that person
this week
right now is Loomis.
Yes.
This is the woman who was singing the national anthem, giving Fergie a run for her money. And while she was singing the national anthem, she I fucked that up.
We're live.
Can I go back? We're live.
I got so nervous.
I
love when she says I got so nervous, because I
got so nervous because she now at this point knows it's live.
Yeah.
She's still messing it up. I get so nervous, and then continues. It's camp, classic, never change.
Eric, what would your advice be to Loomis in this situation?
So the thing is, my advice before versus after is different. Advice before is, rehearse a couple more times. Yeah. My advice after is lean into it. Lea Michele took way too long to lean into the she can't read bit. Lean into how much you fucked it up, and then go off into gay canon herstory.
I absolutely agree. Totally. Rebecca Black that shit. Well, she took a while too to sort of accept it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. And also the purpose, there is a whole economy of women who have fucked up the national anthem, who have gone on to notoriety. True. But I think the whole purpose of having a cursive, scratchy voice is to throw people off the scent. No one knows what you're gonna do next. No one knows that you fucked up. Just make it to the end of the song like any singer and go like this at the end. Make the face. I know I fucked it up. Yeah. But you don't want to say it when you're live. I'm sorry, just never tell them while you're doing it. Yeah. Always ruin the song in the end by sort of making that face.
I kind of loved it, and I'm like, I want more people to do that. I love when Adele stops the song and it's just like, let me do it again. To me, I'm like, it's human. I love it. And I'm like, I'm already here. It's adding 30 seconds, whatever, but it's live. I understand. But my advice to her is literally release a I fucked it up version, the fucked version, and keep it in. And then if you want, you could sing. Now it's your song, and just sing that now, being like I fucked it up, whatever.
Totally,
and literally cash in on
Let
that.
the beat drop.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my God! You rewrote the lyrics to one of the most famous songs that no one actually knows the middle lyrics to,
and also canonically one of the worst songs written.
Oh, horrible!
Right behind Happy Birthday.
Oh my
hard
God.
To sing.
Yeah.
Not pleasing to the ear. Although
too long, you kind of get bored in the middle.
But the only version we're not allowed to say is a bad version is Whitney Houston, who sort of reinvented that song, and it was never done the same again.
And of course, the Maya Rudolph on SNL.
Oh, right.
So what?
Oh, Maya Rudolph on SNL. That honestly is one of the performances that made me gay.
Oh, he's so good.
B to the R to the A to the V to the E.
Brave. Thank you.
Oh my God, truly one of the... She should have won an Emmy for that.
And now we said it.
Okay, wow. Well,
This has been...
truly an honor to have you on the pod. Can you tell our listeners where they can find your socials and the pod? Because they need to listen. They simply must.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Miss Thing, the pod, is such a slay. You guys are such good hosts, and it truly means a lot that I got to come here as your first guest. My podcast is called That's a Gay Ass Podcast. Follow along at Gay Ass Podcast. We're on YouTube and wherever you listen. And I'm at Eric Wills, WILLZ. Mwah.
Follow him right now and listen to the pod. It's so good. He has the
funny.
amazing guests, and we are so honored to have you.
Yes, thank you. And then Gennifer Zs, Inertias, continue to like, subscribe, throw up a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment at Apple Podcasts. That's really helpful. And Cynthia? Hi, girl. You know Cynthia Erivo follows us.
Oh, we've told Eric.
I've seen, and I'm glad to be reminded. And congrats on the film.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it the week before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Oh, yes. We will all, and we can't wait to see KRISTIN in the film and see what she does next.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right. That's it. Bye.
Bonk.
Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zintek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zines.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zintek on all social media.
Bonk.